trailer was on fire inside of a parking deck.
The normal hum of morning pierced in South Park.
It looked like a big bonfire. I mean, it was just fire everywhere.
Sirens signaling a rush of firefighters and other first responders. 5 alarms pulled as flames soared and surrounded a man in his crane.
He's stuck on the platform trying to get out.
Firefighters got him and more than a dozen construction workers to safety, but 2 are still missing tonight.
According to the construction foreman, there are 2 construction workers that are unaccounted for.
The pictures, the stories, the latest on a day many won't soon forget. WBTV has been on your side, breaking into regular programming since this massive fire at South Park started. And tonight, we're going to hit every angle of what we know so far and what the next couple of days could look like. Good evening and welcome to On Your Side tonight. I'm Jamie Bolt. It is always great to have you here with us. Also here alongside, we have meteorologists Rachel Coulter and Eric Garlick. They're monitoring along with the weather, the traffic conditions, also the air quality in South Charlotte. But we're going to start with Siobhan Bryan. She's going to get us caught up on everything that has happened so far today.
It's been a busy day, Jamie. Here's what we know. The fire first started around 9 this morning on Liberty Road Drive near South Park Mall. We've mapped it out for you here. Now, less than an hour later, it was declared a 5-alarm fire, meaning it's a significantly larger fire that requires more hands on deck to get it under control. 90 firefighters swarmed to this scene today. That's when plumes of black smoke like this started to fill the sky. You could see it for miles. 15 people were rescued. Emergency crews are still looking for 2 missing construction workers tonight. Charlotte Fire says the flames were so big and so fast moving, they even had to rescue some of their own.
We had several maydays. That means a mayday is when crews get trapped or have access issues of escaping due to the fast-moving fire. And a mayday is required when we have to send other firefighters to rescue those companies, and we had 2 of those.
As the school buses rumbled out of the parking lot at Croft Community School one recent afternoon, a concerned mother sat at home, miles away, wondering if her daughter was safe.
This is the school bus. She's supposed to be safe.
That concern fresh in her mind because a few weeks ago, her 5-year-old came home and said she wasn't safe. 2 boys, the little girl said, held her down on the bus, kicked her, punched her, and then violated her, touching her inappropriately, and one exposing himself.
A little boy took out his private parts.
All of this, the little girl said, happened on the bus. The next morning, the girl's report was relayed to the school and police. She was taken to the hospital.
The school district never called me, and I think that's what several days had passed when I reached out to you, because I was like, you know, I didn't know what else to do. The principal, she wasn't offering any help.
The school did send this letter outlining steps it pledged to take to help the little girl feel comfortable on the bus, including providing a bus buddy.
So they give you this packet of all the things that they say they're going to do to make sure she feels safe at school.
Yes.
Did any of that happen?
No, it did not. The very next day she went to school, the bus driver sat her directly next to the little boy. I know she's 5, and she might not feel like an older person would feel, but as a woman, you know, how would you sit me next to my attacker? That makes no sense to me.
In the Duke Energy recipe book.
This mother's concern comes just weeks after interim CMS Superintendent Dr. Crystal Hill touted improvements the district had made in handling reported sexual violence on campus.
We've been really strategic in making sure that our compliance in terms of when things are reported, making sure that things are reported in an accurate manner.
Should students feel safe and comfortable reporting sexual violence on campus?
My answer to that would be, hopefully our students aren't looking to the news to find out how they need to report Title IX. That work happens here in the school building.
Recently, the interim superintendent has said, we're improving how we're handling sexual assaults. What do you say to that?
I say that is a made-up lie.
Hill would not agree to answer questions on camera for this story. A CMS spokeswoman issued a statement saying in part, quote, "While we cannot provide support that is outside of our control or is unduly burdensome, we are committed to making the necessary adjustments as unforeseen circumstances and situations arise."
Overall, what would be your message to school leaders about this situation?
Take it as seriously as you would if it were your child. Because we expect, when we send them off to school, we expect the children to be protected.
Reporting in Charlotte, Nick Oxner, WBTV, on your side.
Tonight, only WBTV is sitting down one-on-one with Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools Interim Superintendent Dr. Crystal Hill. Thanks for watching All New at 6 o'clock. I'm Jamie Ball.
And I'm Molly Grantham. Our chief investigative reporter, Nick Oxner, is asking Dr. Hill questions in the wake of our investigation that uncovered a 5-year-old reporting sexual assault on her school bus.
The school system failed us. We chose to reach out to the media simply because the school ignored what we were saying.
That concerned mother tells WBTV her daughter was made to sit next to the boy she reported attacking her the next time she rode the bus, despite the fact school administrators pledged to take steps to make the girl feel safe. We wanted to know how that could happen and what is being done to keep children safe on school buses.
Questions that are important to get to the bottom of. Questions Dr. Hill did not want to answer.
God, please protect my sweet girls. Keep them safe. Protect them from every hurt, harm, and danger, and bring us back together closer than we were when we left.
This is the prayer Interim Superintendent Dr. Crystal Hill says for her own kids every morning.
And I will tell you that Crystal Hill, when she gets up in the morning, says that very same prayer for all 141,000 students and the 20,000 staff that are here.
I sat down with Hill to get answers about how the district handled the report from a 5-year-old girl who said she was sexually assaulted.
I can't comment on confidential student matters. I'll tell you that I care deeply for every student and every staff member that's here.
But we're sitting here today because there's a mother of a 5-year-old girl who reported being sexually assaulted, who said the school district did nothing for her and her child after her child reported being sexually assaulted on a school bus. So what good do your words mean if there's a mother and a 5-year-old who feel that way?
Well, what I will say is that any reports of misconduct, especially if it's sexual misconduct under Title IX, there are certain processes that we have to follow. And to the general public, those processes don't always land well.
Title IX states clearly, the language is very clear. You do what you need to do to ensure that these students are not coming in contact with each other.
Annette Albright, education chair for the local NAACP, had this to say about CMS's handling of reported sexual violence at a news conference Tuesday, just hours after I sat down with Hill.
Why can CMS not comply with Title IX?
When I first asked CMS about this case, the district issued this statement, saying the district, quote, "cannot provide support that is outside of our control or is unduly burdensome."
Dr. Hill? Hi, Nick Oxner at WBTV.
That's the statement I tried for more than a week to get answers about. Hill and CMS staff ignored my repeated request for an interview. On Monday, I approached Hill as she walked into a budget open house.
I already responded to you, the questions that you had.
Well, you didn't answer any of our questions, and I want to ask you, the statement that you did send said, while we cannot provide support that is outside of our control or is unduly burdensome. Is it unduly burdensome to make sure a child who reported being sexually assaulted isn't sat next to the same student she reported sexually assaulting her?
What I will say
It's a yes or no question.
We've taken every step that we can to protect all students.
Hill had a different answer the next day.
I would never, ever, ever authorize communication that we would say anything is unduly burdensome. When a parent says that something has happened to their child, there's nothing that's unduly burdensome. It's our job to make sure that our students are safe. So I will say to you again,
but that's
Mr. Oxner, that I will not comment on individual student matters. And if you ask me one more time, then I'm sorry, but our interview will have to be over.
Yesterday, when we spoke on camera, you said you stood by that statement that the district issued. Why are you changing your story?
because I didn't realize that what was issued, that specific statement, there was 2 or 3 lines that were not accurate. I'm not standing by that statement because it's legalese.
But that's not what Hill said when I talked with her Monday. She actually said claims made by the 5-year-old's mother that school administrators did nothing to help her daughter were inaccurate.
We still have parents who say the school's doing nothing.
Well, it's not accurate.
Would you say that to the mother of this 5-year-old girl?
That's what I would say. What I said yesterday on camera, I said that is inaccurate, meaning the statement, and I appreciate your smile, the statement was inaccurate because it was not the statement that I had authorized.
But you also said the claims by the mother in this case were inaccurate because I asked you specifically to clarify.
That's not what I said.
Ma'am, it's on camera.
And then, as I pressed Hill to explain why she said one thing on Monday and another thing in our sit-down Tuesday, this happened.
Well, I just want to know, did the school district issue a pre-investigative supportive measures letter in this case?
I will not comment on individual student matters. I think we're done.
Did the school district issue a notice of investigation in this case?
Thank you. I appreciate
Why
your time.
aren't you willing to answer questions
I'm
about
willing to
this?
answer your questions, but you know, you've asked the same question 50 times.
So what are school districts required to do when a student reports being sexually assaulted? Guys, what actually does the federal law say? Jamie, I'll break that down at 7 o'clock when I join you for On Your Side Tonight.
By far, damaging winds from severe thunderstorms pose the greatest risk to your home. And just south of Charlotte in Chester County, South Carolina, there's a research facility that builds brand new homes only to tear them apart with the most intense weather conditions. Here's why.
We build homes and destroy them in our test chamber so that we can better protect your home.
For 10 years, the Institute for Business and Home Safety has been building homes just like yours to test them against real-world weather.
This is the main test chamber.
They run 105 6-foot fans to 130 miles per hour, recreating wind gusts comparable to major hurricanes and the severe thunderstorms that so frequently blast the Carolinas.
We see it as meteorologists after a storm all the time. You see the damage.
Right.
What the IBHS test chamber allows us to do is see how that damage happens.
Right.
We don't get to see in slow motion how the house comes apart. We just see the aftermath.
Right. Yeah. That's
This facility allows us to piece that together.
Your home is most likely your biggest investment. And the first line of defense in protecting your home against water and wind is your roof. But the most vulnerable part of your home, as it turns out, is your garage door.
We found that if you can keep the garage door intact in a severe thunderstorm, if you can keep that garage door in place, there's a 90% chance you won't have structural damage to the roof and the walls.
And here's another tip, a very simple thing you can do to help protect your home: close the doors.
Every door. Bedroom doors, closet doors, bathroom doors, pantry doors, all the doors. If you say in the morning, it's a first alert weather day and we could have severe weather, use that as your cue to go around your home before you leave for work or school and close up all your doors. That could be the difference to keeping your roof on.
Before threatening conditions come our way, we'll declare a first alert weather day. When that happens, make sure your outside lawn furniture is secure so that it doesn't go airborne. And download our free WBTV First Alert Weather app so you can stay ahead of incoming severe weather right along with our team of meteorologists.
The belief is,
Hey, stay focused, come on.
if you can play baseball, you can succeed at life.
The single hardest athletic thing to do is to hit a baseball. It's been proven. The ball's already moving. You got a round bat, a round ball, you got to hit it square.
Morse Madden knows what he's talking about. He's played professional baseball in Los Angeles, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. This is him back in the day.
What's up, JR?
And this is Morse today.
How you doing?
Good, Coach, good.
Helping many African-American male students succeed.
It made me grow up more. Like, me about to be 18, I got to settle.
Cal Cunningham started with Carolina Metro Reds when he was in the 5th grade, and he stayed with it.
Become more of a man and a leader, and to want better for myself and not to slack in anything.
That includes his grades. Players must have at least a 3.0 to play on this team.
They praise me as student athletes. They praise that. They say you student before an athlete, so they're really heavy on that. If you have none of that, they're not even really fooling with you like that.
Carolina Metro Reds starts working with kids as young as 4 years old.
We understand that if they're not reading on a grade level by the 3rd grade, then something traumatic is going to happen. It's just a fact. We got to make sure that they have achieved that goal by 3rd grade, and by the 6th grade, they're reading at least 2 grades beyond.
Charlotte City Councilmember Victoria Watlington recognized the work of this nonprofit and told Morris to apply for funding from the city.
We didn't think a whole lot of it because we'd never done it before. But when it happened, man, we were overjoyed because we were really down to, we were on the scraps at that time.
It takes about $150,000 to run this operation.
Hey, boy.
That $50,000 will go a long way. It will beef up this nonprofit's academic training and provide trips to tournaments that can lead to opportunities.
We went down to Vero Beach last week. We took 20 kids down. 3 of the kids got offers to play in college.
That $50,000 from the city is also helping to fuel dreams. After college, Cal says,
I'm going to be a professional athlete, sir. Mark this.
And he believes that wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Carolina Metro Reds. Morris hopes the city will continue the funding.
God's telling everybody that the city really cares, and they're after helping to end some of the stuff that's going on now.
This is On the Clock, a WBTV draft special.
Breaking news just in, big news for the Carolina Panthers.
So we have confirmed that the Panthers have traded up with the Chicago Bears for the #1 pick in the draft. Panthers fans have a lot more to be excited about for this 2023 draft.
They bring late pressure. It's picked up. Stroud wide down the middle. Touchdown. We're going to bring a brand of football and a style of football that this city can be proud of. It's going to be exciting.
I know who I am. I know what I can do. I'm a playmaker. I think I'm very creative.
With the first pick, the Carolina Panthers select
Here we go. We are live right now. This is Kansas City, where in less than an hour, the Panthers will officially be on the clock with the first overall pick in the NFL draft. Here is that countdown clock. The energy and the excitement around this pick is electric. And for the next hour, we are breaking down the top prospects for the Panthers, why this selection is so critical, and we'll have some fun ways you can interact with us live. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jamie Bull. WBTV News bringing you team coverage across the country. Our sports team, Nate Wimberly and Cam Gaskins, live tonight in Kansas City covering that first-round pick. Meanwhile, we have crews spread across the Charlotte area from Kings Mountain to Bank of America Stadium and tonight's Panthers Watch Party.
All the work is done. Now it's just time to wait to see what happens. And, you know, talk to Bryce about the last time the Carolina Panthers were in this position. They drafted Cam Newton. And the expectation is going to be that Bryce would come in and kind of follow the same deal as Cam Newton. Take this team to the Super Bowl, win an MVP. But Bryce says, hey, look, I love the expectations, but don't put that on me. I'm my own man, and I'll make my own legacy here in the Carolinas. Let's listen to what Bryce had to say just a few minutes ago.
for me, I don't think it would come from anything external. There's always going to be opinions and goals and comparisons, and I'm grateful for those. That's the beauty of sports. But for me, I try to control what I can control and put my focus into that.
It'd be amazing. I mean, Coach Wright does a great job. Just his offense is very something I'm used to at Ohio State. They like to take shots, which I think I'm the best quarterback in the draft for that. And Coach, all one of the coaches are amazing. So I mean, I got a great relationship with Coach McCown, with Thomas, and they've done a great job just kind of being transparent with me throughout this process. So we'll see, man. I'm excited to find out.